Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have a 5-sided box for you. I'll show you it that way around so you can see it better. It's a 5-sided box that pinches closed and you tie it closed with the ribbon. This was the original one I made. I made this ages ago and I just haven't got around to filming the tutorial. And recently, with our clearance rack blitz, with so many different products being in clearance, I picked up some tulle ribbon and I love it, so I thought I was going to, I'd mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you how to make one. I'm going to make a slight variation on this one, but I just wanted to show you my original to show you how it works with chevron ribbon as well. So I'm going to put those right out of the way for a second and grab my scoring tool. And you need a piece of cardstock that measures 8 inches by 10.5 inches or 27 centimetres by 20 centimetres. And the scoring is so easy, it really, really is. Turn it over that way. With the long side at the top, you score it at 2, 4, 6, 8, you know where I'm going with this, don't you? And 10 inches. And in metric, you would score yours at 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25 centimetres. Very easy. You also need to make little notches at the top at the 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 inch mark, which again in metric is 2.5, 7.5, 12.5, 17.5 and 22.5 centimetres. So those notches are going to help us create this part here. Then you turn it round and you simply score it at 2 and 6 inches, which is 5 and 15 centimetres. So that's all of the scoring and those little notches done. I don't know how well you're seeing it. Terribly dull day here today. Those little notches are just at the top. I'm going to move the Simply Scored out of the way, keep hold of my stylus, and with these sections here, where we've got these little notches, I really do hope you can see those, you line up a ruler from that point down to the corners. So from that point to that point, that point to that point, and that's where we're going to score. So I'm going to do that now. And hopefully you can see that we've created a little triangle. See, that one's not scored very well, you're not seeing it very well. So we've created this triangle shape of score line. So do that all the way along, so I'm going to do that quite quickly. And then the last one, just there. So there we go. So if I can tilt that, you can possibly just see a sort of zigzag line going on there. So that's the scoring done. So I'll move my ruler, grab my bone folder and now fold the vertical and horizontal score lines and crease those. So don't worry about those triangular ones at the moment. We'll come to those at the end. So just keep folding, and this is Sahara Sand cardstock, which is lovely, and actually that's the one I put in the original with some of the Sweater Weather Designer Series paper. There we go. And then these ones, this triangular mark, if you put your finger in it and just sort of fold, it will just sort of instinctively fold up quite happily. So you put your finger in and then your thumb into one side and your other finger, your middle finger into another, and just sort of pinch. This is the blessings of working with good quality cardstock. So there you go, so you can see this sort of crimped version going on. Right, a pair of scissors. These bits down at the bottom, we need to lose the skinny bit. So cut that right off. And then cut up all of these. and then it's going to fold together in that fashion. So this section here, we need some sticky strip to go along there, and keep it close to the score line. Okay. Peel that off. And then fold up, and then normally I try and get my measurements so that you can just lay it and hold it flat, but obviously because you've got 5 sides, you can't do that, so you just kind of have to almost hold it in the air and line it up. There we go. So that's those done, and then these, starting with one that matches the score line, you need your liquid glue. So stick a blob on there and fold the next one over it, blob on there, next one over, blob on there, and then that one, not the next one to it, but the one opposing it, and then this final one, stick some glue on there, and then because it's liquid glue, you can sort of manipulate the position of it. You can get something long like a ruler or excuse me, or a bone folder, and just push it down, and that's got your shape, and you can see we've got this sort of star shape going on, and it will close like that. Very easy. Standard hole punch, and you get 2 bits, you pinch them together and just punch a hole, and a standard hole punch will go through 2 pieces of cardstock without a problem. This is my £1.69 I think I paid for in a stationer's. And keep going around, pinching and closing until you've done all 5. There we go. I'm going to put some DSP on in a second, some designer series paper, but I wanted to get the tulle out because I wouldn't normally use a product that had retired, but because our clearance rack has got so much stuff in it and it is so beautiful, I'm trying to urge everybody to go and have a look, because I cleared out a clearance rack of loads of things, and this scalloped tulle is 10 yards, so just over 9 metres, and it was £1.29p. I mean, it was a really good price at £6 anyway, the original price, but it's £1.29, and there's so many ribbons and things, so please do all go look at the clearance rack. Right, I'm looking for the back. This is the back, and I want to put my bow at the front, so I'm going to start on the opposite side, and I'm just feeding it through. And I did check in the clearance rack, it is still available, this one, and the crumb cake, which is the other scalloped tulle, and you can see how it's going to end up. There's going to be a big old bow at the front, and obviously if you don't want to get this, you can put other ribbons. I've used the chevron ribbon over here. There we go. And as you pull it tight, when you tie your first knot, it will all draw together, just like that. Easy. And that means then that when you give this as a gift to somebody, they aren't going to shred the box trying to get whatever it is you've given them out. Always a win. So let's neaten up this. Whoops, just pulled that too tight. There we go. There we go. Whoops, move the noisy stainless steel ruler. And then the piece of designer series paper, now this was sweater weather, and I've got the Gingham Garden this time, which is the Pear Pizzazz, and it measures 3 inches by 11 inches, which is 7.5 centimetres by 28 centimetres. And again, finding your back, just start pinching and hold it in place and keep folding it round and just pinching, and that is enough to crease it and hold it in place. I've made that slight, I've not positioned it properly, so I'm just going to trim a little bit off the edge. And then just come along and just reinforce your score lines. And then you can just sit it round, and again make sure you've got the attractive bit at the front. So there we go, and I'm going to use, what am I going to use? I'm going to use a couple of glue dots because they're here to hand. Lay it on and just position it where you want, sort of in the centre. And that's that done. Oh, my bow's pinged up. And then another piece just round the middle. And I went round twice with this and tie it in a knot at the back. And there's absolutely no stamping in this video. That's outrageous, isn't it? A little knot at the back. And then sort of just lay out your scallops so that you've got a little scallopy edge. Whether it's at the top or the bottom, doesn't really matter. And that is my 5-sided box. That wants to keep pinging up. Exactly the same measurements. This one obviously done with the chevron ribbon at the top and some stamping of the butterflies on there. And this one just using the clearance rack scallop edge ribbon. Anyway, scallop edge tulle, that's what it's called. Anyway, do go and check out the clearance rack. There's some really gorgeous stuff in there. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.